Alright, what is up everybody? Coming back at you with another video on the channel today, and we have scored another grail. That word gets thrown around quite a bit in the knife industry. There's different levels to grails. This one's probably a mid-range. There's custom knives, there's high-end production, which is where this is at, and then there's just regular knives. When you're this far deep, like I am, lines get a little blurred, but anyways, this is a knife I have wanted for quite a while. Ever since I initially saw it, I really like the look, watch videos on it, but they just don't come out that often. This is another one, what you'd call a boutique brand, kind of like, Vera Engineering kind of started that with his Axon. He's an American designer. He's got his own website he sells these on. He gets them made. And that's kind of what I consider a boutique brand, if you will. And I would consider this that. So anyways, let's get right into it. This is the Something Obscene Company Jcape 3.5. And this is the final run knife. I don't know why, but this is the final run of Jcape 3.5s, and I got one, and I'm excited for it. Nice packaging here. Not much billboarding on it. Got this badass logo here. So about 6 months or so ago, he dropped the mini Jcape. It's like a 3-inch blade. It's 6.5 inches overall. Pretty small knife. Definitely was not for me. I obviously still like the design language on it. So let's check this thing out. So these retailed at $4.99, which is pretty damn high. I think these initially came out at like $3.50. You get a baggie of hardware. Now these are OEM'd by Riot, so you know it's going to be solid. Check out the card right quick. Jcape 3.5. This one was for the Facebook Obscene EDC group. As you can see, final 3.5 run. This is a satin 20 CV blade. This one's dual action thumb studs and flipper tabs. In the previous variations, you got one or the other. Bronze anodized titanium scales, then PVD hardware, individually numbered. This is number 402. So he did quite a few of these, and they still sold out quick. So real quick, this is the old school lightning clip he started out with. I do like this, but people say they have issues getting in their pocket, and I could kind of see that. And as you can see here, it does have a cut into the scale, so it stays on there very solid like. Now let's get into the knife. And I gotta tell you guys, this thing is awesome. I'm absolutely loving it. Got it yesterday, and this thing has probably soared definitely in the top 5 favorite knives of all time. It might even be top 3, to be honest with you. So this is it. As you can see, those nice, it's almost like a flat dark earth / bronze on the scales there with the blacked out hardware. I do dig that backspacer. I like a nice backspacer. And here is the newer updated clip I have on there. I do like the lightning bolt, like I said, but I don't know, something about this one just speaks to me. I really like that lightning cutout, and I think it just gives it a little, I don't know, more modern, futuristic look, in my opinion. Everyone's going to be different in that aspect, and you can see there, 402, it is engraved into the knife. Let's get a good flick. Oh, yes. And I'm just in awe of this knife, guys. I really am. It's just everything I wanted. Sometimes you'll get a knife and you'll play with it some, and you're like, this was all right. Could have done without it. This one is not that. I got this one. I was like, wow, I've been missing out. Never really had an opportunity to buy one before. I've never been on a drop and been able to buy one. You don't really see them even on eBay from scalpers. So I was very excited to get this one. I was actually talking with another YouTuber, and I was in his comments because he had posted the video, and I was like, man, I'm jealous. And he was like, yeah, you know, final run. And then he commented like an hour later and he was like, check the website. And sure enough, I got one. So shout out to him. And this is the Jcape 3.5. 3.5 inch blade, right around 8 inches overall, which for me is the perfect knife. It just fits my hands well. I can carry it pretty well, no issues. So let's get into what do you get. Obviously, this beautiful compound ground satin 20 CV blade. I do love some 20 CV. Probably my favorite blade still overall, just because of the corrosion resistance there. Nice deep hollow grind back here. You can definitely feel it with the compound flat. Pretty much just a drop point blade shape, but you get this deep cut swedge, and I really like this thumb chamfering cutout there. It just fits up so well. My other knife there, also made by Riot, has that, and I really dig it. So the action on this thing has always kind of been a staple of these knives. And like I said, I've only had it a day, so not completely broken in, but as you can see, it will absolutely be drop shut. This is the Renegade EDC GOM, by the way. Had a brain fart for a second, but you can see it's got that similar thumb cutout up there, and the ergos are just fantastic. Now, my one gripe on this knife is I wish this was a full finger choil. It would just be so perfect to choke up on it, but you can't have everything, I guess. Man, the action really is fantastic. Very stiff detent, but in a good way. The detent is perfect, in my opinion. It's exactly how I like it on the stronger end, but super snappy. This flipper tab is very interesting. You know, a lot of flipper tabs swoop up. I'll show you here, like on the Hinder Eclipse, you can see it swoops up there to give you some purchase to flip. This one angles down, which at first you think might not work well, but with that nice jimping on there, it's actually perfect. It really does catch the finger well. Very snappy, as you can see. Great light switch. Great push button. And I do kind of like a knife like this with a flipper tab, just for the reason that you can catch it on your thumb and it's past the detent, so then you can let go and really enjoy that action. Thumb studs on it, pretty solid standard thumb studs there. Nothing special. The action is very nice with them as well. I like dual deployment methods. I just really enjoy it. Gives you more of a fidget factor there. Reverse flick right-handed. Oh, it's money with that strong detent. Now left-handed, thumb flick works great. Obviously, flipper tab, no issues. Now for the reverse flick, the clip comes up pretty far, so I'm able to hop on it there, and reverse flick, no issues. So very excited with that. Yes, and the ergos, guys, are just, they're so good. They really are. They lock you in. It does have kind of like the finger placement grooves, which a lot of times don't work for me, but for this one, it just works really well. Maybe slightly crowded on my third finger in that 2-finger groove, but it just feels really good. And your thumb just naturally lands right there, and it is very nice. Guys, if you come across this knife, I would absolutely recommend you pick it up. If you see one for sale in a Facebook group, on Reddit, that's not at a ridiculous price, I would absolutely recommend it. I don't know what he's going to do moving forward. If he's got new designs coming out, if he's going to do another 3-inch model, I'm not sure. I think a nice in-between, like a 3.25 inch, bigger than the mini Jcape and a little smaller than this, would probably resonate with a lot of people. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving this knife. I love the looks as well. That bronze with the black. I think it's a very attractive looking knife. And the action, I swear, just keeps getting better as I fidget with it more. Oh, and that detent just sucks it in there. Oh, grabs it. Now, you do have a steel lock bar insert, and you get 2 screws on there. So, you know, very robust. On the lock bar, you get some nice jimping. The lock bar access isn't great. It's decent, but with that jimping, it really grabs your finger. I mean, you can even come in just on the flat here, and it grabs your finger well enough. The lock bar is fairly stiff, I will say that, but that's okay, because that detent is very solid. I'm not sure if there's an over travel stop built into, yes, there is an over travel stop built into your lock bar insert there, so that is nice. Yeah, just absolutely killed it. Now, at $4.99, this knife came with a lot of swag, as we call it, that came with it. And let's check that out. You got 2 branded pop sockets that go on the back of your phone, which is cool because it's a hand. Get one with the painted thumbnail and one regular one. Interesting. Got these 2 very sweet patches. That would be perfect on an EDC kit, on a bag, anything that you can put a patch on. And they're actually glow in the dark. I didn't realize that till last night. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And the biggest thing you got, well, let's go over this real quick. And you got a slap koozie. You slap it onto a drink and it forms to it, which I thought was pretty cool. But the biggest thing is this Hank. So I'm not a big Hank guy. Obviously, I've seen them. Renegade EDC does some nice ones. But this came in there. I didn't even know it was coming with this. And this nice logo. Beautiful stitching here. The black and gold. And then on the back, get this very nice tree pattern. Just a super nice Hank overall. And this came from Old Soul Crafts. So that is cool. Yeah, with all the swag that came with it and just how happy I am with this knife overall, I definitely think it was worth the price of admission there. So yeah, I'm super happy with this Jcape 3.5. I can't get enough of it. I haven't put it down since I got it, and it will definitely be a solid addition to the collection. I don't see this going anywhere anytime soon. Man, like I said, I can't get enough of it. Oh, very quick sharpness test. Obviously it's Riot, so we already know it's going to be sharp. And of course, just like butter through this paper, no issue. Exactly what I would expect from that. So yeah, that is the Something It's Seen Company Jcape 3.5. You can see here, I've got a couple factors up here, and that's a fact. Got a review on these coming soon. I went crazy, got 2 of them. Long story, I'll tell it in the review. Guys, we're coming up on 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. So go ahead and like this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you're still here. Check out my channel for all these other knives. Check out those videos. Look for this Winter Blade Co. Factor video coming soon. I appreciate y'all watching, and have yourself a great day.